Will iPhone 13 finally get the bigger battery so many people have been asking for? We'll talk about it and much more on This Week in Apple. Welcome everybody to Apple Insider. It is Andrew here. You can find me on Twitter at Andrew_OSU. And this is This Week in Apple, where I round up the best Apple news of the week. And we got some big stories, including stories about Apple's new 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pros, new betas of iOS 15, and of course, rumors about iPhone 13 still on schedule to release just next month. So let's go ahead and start with those iPhone 13 rumors. Research firm TrendForce outlined its expectations for the iPhone 13, and they say that iPhone 13 will ship with a bigger battery. Now, that sounds like a good thing. I mean, great headline right there. iPhone 13 gets bigger battery. I probably used it on this video. And it is cause for excitement, one way or the other, but it may not have the implications that people may assume. Just because there is a bigger battery does not mean we're going to get longer battery life. iPhone 13 is going to ship with the A15 processor and supposedly that 120 hertz display. And I think that is why Apple's including the bigger battery. I mean, going up to that 120 hertz refresh rate, depending on how Apple does it, is it going to be on the time? Is it just going to be when moving, like kind of Apple does on iPads? I'm not certain, but I think that is going to be what requires the larger battery. So I don't think we're going to get massively larger battery lives with the iPhone 13 lineup. I think Apple's going to keep its battery life pretty much the same. I think for most users it's completely fine in terms of what Apple's offering in terms of battery life, but I think that they're going to have larger batteries to compensate for the extra power draw required by those 120 hertz displays. Our latest rumors pegged Samsung has already started producing those displays for Apple, so it sounds like those Pro Motion 120 hertz displays are a lock for the iPhone 13. Alongside new camera features, we also had heard recently that Apple is going to include ProRes RAW for video, so we can get like those ProRes videos. We're also going to be getting portrait mode for video. Third-party apps can already do this, and it makes sense that Apple would include this feature as well, so we're going to be getting that there, as well as that A15 processor and the new larger batteries. So yeah, iPhone 13 is going to get larger batteries, but I don't think that's going to yield larger battery life. What else has been going on this week? Well, I'm pretty excited to talk about this. You guys, it seems that Apple is finally entering mass production in high volumes of its 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pros. This is the finish line. This is it right here. We have talked about this. You have asked about this. We are getting there. They are actually in high volume production, which would line up with Apple releasing them this fall. Whether they announce them at a September event alongside iPhone and Apple Watch, I don't know. It could push into an October event. We've seen Apple do a September event and an October event, so we could have an October event with an imminent release of the 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pros right after that. That would possibly make more sense to me than trying to cram 14 and 16-inch redesigned MacBook Pros alongside Apple Watch and iPhone into one massive event. And the Mac and the Apple Watch and iPhone don't have as much of a, cohesion there. So I could see them splitting up into two events, but I think we can safely say that the 14 and 16-inch are going to be shipping this fall. By the way, as a refresher on terms of what you can expect with those 14 and 16-inch redesigned MacBook Pros, additional ports, the return of MagSafe. We're going to get an improved 1080p webcam, mini LED displays, and either the M1 or the M1X processors on the inside. One last big thing to talk about this week is new betas have launched. That is right, we are on beta 5 of Apple's operating systems, set to coincide with the release of the new iPhone. So a new iPhone's again come in September. Apple will usually release the GM, the Gold Master, Grand Master, the release candidate, whatever you want to call it anymore, the same day they do their event. And then they will release it just before the new iPhones launch, because it'll usually contain additional code and features that are designed for those new phones, and they don't want that to leak out ahead of time. So that's what we're looking at in terms of release of iOS 13, but in terms of where we're at now, we're on beta 5 of everything. So iOS 15, iPadOS 15, tvOS 15, watchOS 8, and macOS Monterey. Even HomePod got a new beta this week. So all new betas, beta 5, public betas have been released for many of those. So we're getting closer. There wasn't any huge, massive changes, some small icon tweaks going on, a few things like that. We didn't even bother doing a video this time because it was relatively minor, but things were getting more polished, which is definitely what we like to see as we approach the release. So that is it. That is it for the week. Let me know what you guys think. Find me on Twitter at Andrew_OSU, and stay tuned. We got a lot more video coming. You guys know I love you, and I'll see you next time.